Hello, Old Saybrook Public Schools parents, families, students. I'm Superintendent Jan Peruccio. This is Summer Update number 6. Today is August 13th, 2020. Even though this year isn't typical, we're getting our usual jitters about the opening of school. We're really excited. We hope that students are too. We're really nervous. That's every year, maybe a little more so this year, but we have been planning and planning and planning, and we are ready to get these schools open. I want to thank you for responding to our back to school survey. We had 745 responses. That's pretty much 100% of our families responding to the questions about whether or not they're planning to return students to school. Really, we have just about 10%, roughly 82 students. We had to clean up our data a little bit. We had some duplicate responses for an individual child. So we cleaned up our data a little bit. We end up with about 82 students pre-K through 12 who are opting to stay home at this time. So we're really pleased with the number of students coming back. About less than 40% are planning to ride the buses at this time. About 5% looking for before and after care, and about 21.5% interested in finding out what might be available during the day for the month of September when we're working in cohorts and we're having the cohort 1, cohort 2 schedule. More on that is coming soon. On the survey questions, a few parents had additional questions about the first week of school. All of that information is available on our website, what the first 2 weeks look like and then the subsequent weeks. But just as a reminder, on Tuesday, September 1st and Wednesday, September 2nd, the first cohort of students will come to school. And those are students whose last names begin with A through LAC. On Thursday and Friday, the 3rd and 4th, cohort 2 will come to school, and those are students whose names begin LAD through Z. Some parents have had questions about children with different last names in the same family, and please call your principals because they will work with families and accommodate that. We've also had some other hardship situations, essential workers and others who were looking for a change. And again, I'm going to ask that you call your principals. They will do their very best to work with you. We'll try to achieve that 50% cohort, but also work with you. More will be coming from the buildings on that. Remember that first week is all half days. We're giving teachers time to do some additional professional development to prepare for all the eventualities of the year. And we are not serving lunch on those days. But buses, of course, will run. You've probably been looking at our videos, informational videos on our website. If not, please do take a look and please do share them with your children. That's really our intended audience, so that they understand how things might be different or the same this year. But buses in particular have been a lot of questions have been circulating about that. And our buses will run as they always have this year. We're going to get monitors on those buses for the first few weeks to get students familiar with how the rules have changed on the buses. They will have seats that are assigned to them. They will load the bus from back to front. They will unload the bus from front to back so that students aren't walking by each other. And in the afternoon, parents were asking this question, in the afternoon we will load the bus the same way so that students get off at the appropriate stops without walking by each other. What we need parents and students to help us with is to understand that students have to ride the same bus in the morning and the afternoon. That doesn't mean that a parent can't choose to drive a student in the morning and have them take the bus in the afternoon, but they can't ride multiple buses. Again, we're trying to limit the number of cohorts that students are in. So if you're going to before care at a local preschool provider, and then the child could ride the bus in the morning from the preschool provider and then ride that same bus in the afternoon, but we couldn't offer 2 separate buses. I hope that answers questions about that. And there will be a bus riding video coming out soon. Technology was an issue last year. We had to distribute laptops to students because we didn't know they weren't coming back to school, and we weren't a one-to-one district, meaning we hadn't issued a computer to each child in district. This year, because we've had to prepare for lots of different eventualities, we do have devices for students. So the first cohort will get their devices on the opening day of school on September 1st. The second cohort that doesn't come in until Thursday, but we're expecting them to participate, we will have a technology give out time, and we'll be talking about that with you soon, getting you information about that soon. If, however, you have a laptop or a computer that you want your child to use in those first few days, then please feel free to skip the give out, and we'll just give the device to your child when he or she comes to school. I've been asked more than once, can we use our own technology? Do we have to use school-issued technology? In school, we want students using school-issued technology. When they're at home, either because they're in the hybrid or because they're being kept home temporarily, they could choose to use their own technology. We just want you to be aware that we have put safeguards into our computers, including GoGuardian, and a number of other softwares that will allow us to keep students safe. We are concerned that if they're using other devices, that level of protection might not be there. So that's something for parents to be aware of. We have some other topics that seem to still be, we still need to clarify with you. So we're going to make multiple attempts to do that. One is around masks. We are issuing surgical masks to students and to staff. On the first day of school, send your child with whatever mask he or she has, and we will replace that with the surgical mask. We are doing that out of an abundance of caution about the quality of masks because they vary wildly, and we want to be sure that we are issuing the safest thing that we possibly can, that we have access to here in district. So even when students are getting on the bus monitor will have masks to hand out. If you don't have a mask, again, the child will have to be masked when coming into school. So we'll be greeting people either at the bus or at the school doors and making sure that each child has that. And that's true for staff as well. There's been a little bit of easing up on the mask requirement by the state of Connecticut for children in the early childhood program, so children under 5. So we're looking at those accommodations now because we recognize how hard it is for little ones to keep masks on, and we're looking to see how we can accommodate that for them. We've been asked questions about the school schedules. The school schedules will remain the same as they're described on our academic calendar for the time being. If we ever find ourselves in a close down this year, which we are all hoping we don't, we are hoping that we are full-time on October 5th. But if we do find ourselves in a close down, we may adjust the schedule just to take advantage of, we're thinking particularly of our high schoolers and teenagers getting up early, and if we can accommodate it all, we will try. Lots of questions about sports and extracurricular. Extracurricular activities, we are going to start the year doing those remotely. So every student has a computer or device. They will participate in meetings for clubs remotely. We're at least going to do that for a while. Let us see how it goes. We don't want to take on so much that we cause a problem for students or for staff. As far as sports go, we continue to discuss that. We have teams practicing now. The CIAC is making decisions and providing recommendations for sports. You may have heard at the high school level that football was going to be moved to the spring. Well, that didn't end up happening. So as you can see, that's very much in flux. More information is coming on that. Our athletic director, Brendan Saunders, is working very hard to put a plan together, and superintendents, high school principals, and athletic directors are meeting on Monday for the Shoreline area to talk more. Middle school, we're hoping to offer, we want to offer something to students. At this time, it looks like it will be something intramural. We're not excited about the idea of putting students on buses and having them interact unnecessarily with other school districts. I've also been asked for more information about the 10% of students who are planning to stay home temporarily, they will be asked to participate, and attendance will be taken every day for those students. Distance learning has changed significantly from last spring, and we're looking for about 50% of their instructional day to be synchronous or live. And that may include teacher lectures, it may include group work with other students, it may include independent time with the teacher, small group with the teacher. So all the different ways we think about instruction could be included in that live time. There's more information on that coming, but that's why it's really essential that everybody has a computer or a device of some kind. And then the other question I've been getting recently, and I completely understand why, is what if we have a case or cases of COVID in our community? So as I've said before, we are involved with emergency management calls. We hear all the latest about the cases. The Connecticut River Area Health District is on those calls, and they give us updates for the county, or very often, at least once a week. And we've been receiving additional guidance from the state. This is the most recent. This can be found on the State Department of Education's website. It's called Addendum 5 to Adapt, Advance, Achieve, Connecticut's Plan to Learn and Grow Together. It gives us scenarios of how we will deal with different situations. If someone has been exposed for 15 minutes or more, if someone has symptoms but hasn't been exposed, it spells out what we are to do in each situation and what we are supposed to communicate and to whom. The director of nursing care in Vanderhorst will be on the Thursday afternoon parent call this week. That's today. And she will be on all the remaining parent phone calls, and we'll be talking about this today, and we'll be talking about it in the future as well. But rest assured, we will work with the health department very closely to make the decisions that are best for our schools. And we know that that might mean sending a student or a staff member home, or sending multiple students and staff members home, closing a school, closing a district. We will be watching carefully and taking advice from the health department. This afternoon, we have another parent phone call at 3:30. I hope that many of you will be on that call. We will continue those parent calls weekly for the time being. We'll also continue these videos for the time being, including the instructional videos being done at the building level. I look forward to talking with you this afternoon and in the coming weeks. If you have questions, please use our back to school email. That's still working out really well. We're able to get back to you more quickly that way. Thanks so much for listening today, and I hope you have a great weekend.